Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Fair Life with Andrew McKee. Yes, the chat seems to be working, so that is great. And yeah, please share the stream, and should be good. Oh, hey, yeah, just to prove it, hey, chat's working. Yes. So many headaches from the last couple of shows because of that for me. Have to juggle a lot more because of that, and I'm used to having three monitors at once while I do this at home. So on the road, it's a little more difficult. I usually have two, and I'm down to one. So we'll make it work. And hey, Lisa, and Damaris, and Cassie, and hello, Alicia. Thanks for joining as always. Yeah, it has been a fabulous New Jersey run for me. Just had a great time. The weather has been almost perfect. And yeah, I mean, it really, coming up here to the farther north than where I live really goes a long way in explaining why there aren't as many fairs far south in the summer. I'll say that. Wow. Yeah, definitely a big difference. Definitely. And oh, Janine, yes, it's working on YouTube too. So thanks for jumping in. And Dan. Right? I know. I really, first of all, I brought some lights. See, I forgot the extra monitor, but I did bring the lights. So at least I did that. But no, I mean, I'm staying with some friends over here, and this was painted by one of the performers out at New Jersey. So yeah, I'm staying in, yeah, this is all custom stuff. It's great. It's just really a great house and a lot of fun. So yeah, and the lighting only helps. But yeah, just really wonderful. I'm enjoying it a lot. And yeah, Dan, no joke, it was perfect. I mean, at least close to perfect. We got a little rain Sunday morning, but just enough to keep it from getting hot at all. So it wasn't hot all day. So yeah, it worked out great. I was very happy about it. And yeah, moving up to 4 weekends for this fair, definitely a good idea. And I'm fairly sure they'll do it again next year. I'm awake. Next year and everything. Yeah, I gotta have to admit, I thought about maybe canceling the show tonight because I'm packing up and I'm heading out on the road to head to North Dakota tomorrow morning early. And I was thinking, oh, I don't know. I'm a little tired. I'm a bit wiped. I've got all this stuff. If I do the show, I'm going to spend the entire day working my butt off trying to make this happen. And I did. But, you know, the internet here is so fabulous. I mean, I don't know what it's going to be like in North Dakota, but here it's not quite as good as what I have at home, but it's not far off. So I just don't really see that very often. So I wanted to use it as much as I could. I could do 3 or 4 streams going on at the same time, and it wouldn't be a problem. That's how good the internet is here. Whew. Yeah. Oh, wow. Cold right now. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that, Damaris. Wasn't trying to rub it in. Yeah, I know it is really hot down there, and that's the secret. You know, when you can go as far north as you can, do the do the reverse of what the birds do. Learn from them. So that's what I'm trying to do from now on. I'm going to try to go north and do as many fairs in the summer as I can, and get away from the Texas heat. So that's my strategy. So we'll see how that goes. Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, no, the other good thing is I've got a nice 1,400-mile drive. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be I've already started picking out the audiobooks, and it's been great. So a lot of good stuff there. But yeah, New Jersey, I mean, it's one of those fairs where the people are incredibly nice here. I mean, I've been to some fairs where people are really friendly, pleasant, you know, generally great. But here, they're so nice, I would think I was in the South. Let's put it that way. That whole view of Southern politeness and charm, it's up here too. It's kind of, it's fascinating. You wouldn't really expect it, at least I wouldn't have, but really, really nice people up here and a lot of fun. So I've really enjoyed it. Sad to see it go, but that's, there's always next year. And that's why I keep doing fairs year round. Always fun. And yeah, definitely. You're a good example, Dan. Yeah, definitely. Wow. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, it's always tough. I've really started to try to pay as much attention to my strategy for what fairs to do and when to do them based on the weather now, because we're in a different world than we were 20 years ago. We definitely are. Yes. No, definitely not, Dan. I would agree with you there. It's incredibly friendly people and a wonderful place. They've found a bit of an oasis here, and if you are in the area in the future and in this time of year, come to the New Jersey Rent Fair. I really highly recommend it. It's on my short list for one of my favorite fairs, which, considering it's not a permanent site, is quite impressive. I'm just saying. So, yeah, very cool. Yes, and that is the other trick. One thing I'm definitely trying to do more shade, stay in the shade as much as I can during the day. Definitely a lot more strategies going on than I used to have to employ. It definitely is a thing. But yeah, I mean, the other weird thing about this fair is they've got me doing sound at one of the stages. I mean, the big stage. So there's the sound people were spread pretty thin before, so they were just saying, hey, can we pay you some more to just man the sound of the stage? Which is, I'm happy to do because it really helps, and hey, it's more money, but it's really, sound can always be a tough thing at fairs, so I'm glad it worked out. But there is a downside, because I really didn't get to busk much. I didn't get to play much in the lanes. I mean, I played with the Rowdy Bardlings, the group they hired me to come out here and play with them. But I really didn't do much solo stuff. So it was an odd dynamic. But of course, that's one of the best parts, because having each fair be different than the others keeps it interesting and keeps it different. I never get bored, and that's always a good thing if you can manage it. You're not wrong, Alicia. You're not wrong. That's always a great way to start off, yeah. Right, no joke. The sun is really, yeah. Oh, right. Recruit fans to hold fans over you is what you meant. Okay, yes, I see now. Well, I mean, we've got a lot of stuff for this show. It's going to run long. I've already accepted that. And I know if I get into a long conversation with it about anything, we're going to run super long. So we're going to have to move it along before Alicia jumps on and says, by the way, look at the time. So yeah, I'm aware, Alicia, way ahead of you. But I will just throw in one little comment. Well, okay. Yeah. You're not wrong. I mean, one of the interesting things is that people are going for the easy sound route. The apps on their phones have kind of turned into that, just record from your phone and plug this mic in there and you're good to go. And they've kind of tried to dumb it down to where there's less artistry and more generic sound. And that works. That's not necessarily bad as long as nothing goes wrong. But for anybody who's dealt with sound, that something usually goes wrong at some point. So I think that's kind of been the problem. And I think you're right. I think a lot of people haven't really gone into sound engineering. Some people are interested in it, though, because it is fascinating if that type of thing interests you. I mean, some people go in from music, some people go in from science, and, they're not musicians, but they still go in from like an engineering science approach. So you can do either or both. But it is, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go, honestly, because, yeah, like I said, they've just been trying to dumb it down, and through YouTube channels and apps, people have kind of jumped on that bandwagon. So you're right, that may have hurt. Yeah, you're not wrong, Alicia. Yup. Okay, I know Damaris. Gosh, I was already saying that. Okay. Anyway, I mean, there's more stuff than even Alicia knows about, so it's actually a really crazy show, and if she knew all the stuff I was planning, she would be giving me really mean looks. So we'll just say that I guess the only other thing to really mention, I'll go ahead and throw in one more comment, because it's kind of been an ongoing thing the last few weeks. You know, the HBO series Faire. They finished up with the last episode yesterday, and I'm just gonna say that nothing's really changed from what I said last week. It is really just one long bit of made up drama. I described it the other day because we were talking about it at the Faire site, and I said, to me, it's as if somebody was asking for the plot of Game of Thrones from a 5-year-old, and from what the 5-year-old told them, they wrote a script. Because that kind of seems like what it is to me. It's really not... Lowbrow is a nice way of putting it. So, yeah. Yeah, Kurt, I totally agree with that. American Princess was a show that came on Lifetime several years ago, and it was a cute show. It wasn't perfect, and it was a little watered down, but it was so much better than this. I mean, if you really just want some cheese about Faire, watch the Christina Ricci movie from, like, I think, what was it, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, called All's Fair in Love. Yeah, where it's about people at a Ren Fair. That's also kind of, I mean, it's at least better than this documentary series that I hate calling it a documentary series because it's just fluff. But anyway. Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it. Cheesy in a good way. I mean, they're not really trying to be, I mean, they're just having fun, and you can tell. And the people who were involved liked Faire, at least, which, when it comes to this HBO series, I'm not really sure. I hope they don't like Faire, because if they do, they're really not doing Faire a service. Right? No joke. Yeah. If you're not sure what Alicia means by wanting her tent from that movie, All's Fair in Love, watch the movie and you'll know what she means. Because if you're going to do a tent at a Ren Fair, that's the way to do it. That's the dream. You're not wrong, Lisa. You're not wrong. Anyway, so I wanted to go ahead. Yeah, that's true. They did have a cast of a few interesting people. Matthew Lillard. But let's go ahead and jump into, come back over here, and I'm going to throw in, okay, I did take a few videos from the Faire, and they're not long, but it'll be a few minutes. So if you're cool with just seeing some videos from Faire, some music that's going on, is that okay? Anybody mind that? That okay to just show a couple of minutes of cool Faire stuff? Everything cool with that? Because if you are, I can do that and throw that up. So here we go. Here's a few different groups that I got to do the sound for.
To think of small injuries now. If her athlete to see, don't let her thy cheek, don't let her inhabit thy brow. Cross out of thy book small level in looks, both beauty and youth's decay. And spend the long nights in honest delights to drive the cold winter cold winter away.
Find a lover, go away somewhere bright and new. I'd see no other that compares with you. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong on a boat out at sea. You belong with your love on your arm. You belong somewhere you feel free. Run away, go find a lover. Run away, let your heart be your guide. You deserve the deepest of color. You belong in that home by and by. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere close to me, far away from your trouble and worry. You belong somewhere you feel. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere close to me, far away from your trouble and worry. You belong somewhere you feel free. You belong somewhere you feel free.
Some guys like that bottled beer, some like it in a can. Some say a keg's the best beer for a real beer drinking man. Everyone has their favorites, but on one thing we agree. The greatest beer in all the world's the one you drink for free. Free beer, that's my favorite brand. If I didn't have to buy it, it's the best beer in the land. Warm, flat, funky, it don't matter to me. The greatest beer in this whole world's the one you buy for me.
Audience participation.
Beard's back there.
That's your tune. Yeah.
It's a long token line,
Boys
though.
at the bar were betting on whose beer was the best. I didn't have a shilling, so they chose me to take the test.
Those 15 different kinds of beer were wonderful to me.
For each one was my favorite. A free beer, that's my favorite brand. I didn't have to buy it, it's the best beer in the land. Warm, flat, funky, it don't matter to me. The greatest beer in this whole world's the one you buy for me. Our old pal Matt Tom got married. He was trying to save some bucks. I'm cheap. He went out and bought the cheapest beer, and boy, it really sucks.
That's not the rhyme I thought they were going with. All right.
But after you've choked that first one down.
And yes, since they're asking, yeah, that was the Righteous Blackguards at the end. And so yeah, you're all right about the others. It started with Lamning, and then Vince Conway, the hammer dulcimer player. And you might have noticed at one point where he noticed me filming him, and then he got all creative and started doing some wild, wacky stuff on that song. But yeah, he has fun with it. And then Barty Party, and lovely voices there. And then, yeah, the Righteous Blackguard. So there you go. And I'm sorry, Damaris. I know, yeah, beer is, yeah. Sometimes I think that was the goal, and oddly enough, at that location where the stage was and everything is also the only location on the site where you can get beer. So what a coincidence! How it works out. And you're right. Yeah, it totally sounds like Vince. Yeah, he he just saw me filming, and all of a sudden he started going and doing triplets. So I thought it was hilarious. But okay, yeah, glad you liked it. I just wanted to give you, I gave you a little tease last week with it, and I mean that the render for the video, it was kind of spliced together pretty quick. It finished rendering less than 10 minutes before the show started, so it was tight. But I wanted to make sure you at least got that, because I told you I'd try to make that happen. And yeah, that was from several different days. That was from this past weekend and the weekend before. A few different groups, and I did the sound for all of them, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's what I do. And yeah, I also tried to do that. That was, believe it or not, on purpose, conscious thought and everything. Yeah, I tried to show you a nice range, and it is interesting that you had that range at that one stage. Normally, especially a pub stage, you tend to have all drinking music. Now, that was the focus. But one thing I thought they did a pretty good job with was they tended to have one or two slots during the day that, the regular pub drinking groups couldn't fill. So they tried to be eclectic with it. They tried to do some interesting, let's try this, like putting Vince on there on the third weekend. And he did really well on that. So much so, I think they're talking about, hey, maybe we should put him on a stage next year. So we'll see if that happens. I mean, that's try something, see if it works. And Barty Party was actually at, I think, a few different stages around the fair, but they got one show there, and yeah, they had a good time, and everybody liked him. Lovely voices, great. Really works out well. But yeah, that is really, that's a little bit of there. Okay, so 823. Actually, we're not doing too bad. So yeah. Yeah, I already told Vince I'd send him a copy of that video so that he could the full video, so he could send it to his Patreon people. But so yeah, so check him out on Patreon if you'd like to follow more of that. But yeah, that is very good. It is kind of interesting and rewarding doing the sound. It's 7:26. Okay, well, I'm sorry, it's my travel clock. I'm doing the best I can. Actually, let me see the phone. Okay, yeah, okay, it's 8:26 here, so fair enough. So okay, let's go ahead and do the, yeah, of course not. Let's go ahead and do the Faire list and get that out of the way. I'm going to do the quick rush version, and then I'll have something else to show you after that. So let's jump on over to the Faire map. You'll notice that it's starting to move a little more north. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, it was all kind of in the middle, U.S., and now they're starting to hit more northern U.S., and some of those middle U.S. fairs are starting to finish and in things, and I think you'll see what I mean. That in the Southeast Texas Fair, this is its last weekend coming up. Very brave to do it this time of year, but they're doing it, and good for them. So okay, let's jump into the full map, and let's go ahead and make it. See if we can make it cat friendly. Here we go. Yay! Okay. So let's jump on this real quick. Starting off, we have the Berkshire Mountains Fairy Festival in Adams, Massachusetts. That's only one day, June 15th. So just a one-day event. Then Robin Hood's Medieval Fair in Harwinton, Connecticut. That is the 5th out of 7 weekends. And it is dog adoption weekend, so they're promoting that for that. Then jumping over into New York, we have Kingdom Fair in Huguenot, New York. That's the last weekend, the 2nd out of 2. Then going down to Charlottesville, Virginia, we have the Faire Festival, and that is just the one weekend. Going over to West Virginia, we have the 2nd weekend of the West Virginia Renaissance Festival in Lewisburg. And the theme is Pirates Landing. Then, let's see, going over to Kentucky, we have in Eminence, Kentucky, the Kentucky Highland Renaissance Festival, the 3rd out of 8 weekends, and the theme is Viking. Jumping up to Michigan, specifically, and I love saying this, Kalamazoo, Michigan, one weekend event, McDudley's Midsummer Fest. So something to check out. Going down to Missouri in Hartville, we have the White Hart Renaissance Fair. It's the middle of the fair, 2nd out of 3 weekends, so halfway point there. Then jumping down to Texas, we have the last weekend of the Southeast Texas Renaissance Fair, the 5th weekend for them, and their theme is Father's Day and Pirates Weekend. So yes, something to check out. And then jumping up, up to North Dakota, where I'll be. Oh yeah. The North Dakota Renaissance Festival, the 1st out of 2 weekends in Fargo. Then a state down and clear over, you have the Black Hills Renaissance Festival in Lead, South Dakota. Just the one weekend for that. Then going down to Colorado, you have the Colorado Renaissance Festival, the 1st weekend there in Larkspur, Colorado. And the theme is magical fantasy. Then jumping over to Utah, we have the Woodland Fairy Festival at Gardner Village in West Jordan, Utah. This is the 5th out of 7 weekends. So a very long fairy festival. Very unique there. Then jumping over to Washington State, Washington. Just one day on the 15th. Then going down to Oregon, we have the 3rd and last weekend of the Oregon Renaissance Fair in Canby, Oregon. And then going down to Southern California, we have the 4th out of 5 weekends in Coronberg Renaissance Festival in Corona, California. The theme is Celtic and Norse weekend. So there you go. Those are the fair list. Woohoo! Okay. We made it. Okay. Now, so we had a very active week because Alicia did an interview with the entertainment director and some performers from the Oregon Renaissance Fair. And really cool stuff. We're going to put up the full video. Actually, I'm kind of thinking about putting it up tomorrow, if that's okay with you, Alicia, because this is going to be the last weekend of the fair. So let's get it up there and show the full interview. Post that on YouTube and maybe Facebook too, but definitely YouTube tomorrow. I'll be on the road, so we'll have to we'll have to set up a time, but we'll get that announced and everything to you. But we do have a teaser for you, just a quick 4-minute teaser to give you an idea of what all of this is about and let you know. So let's go ahead and jump in and see this interview, a little teaser for the interview video to see what's going on over there. So here you go.
Hello, everyone. Alicia here with Life's a Faire, and I'm sitting down today with the team that is part of a really historic moment within the Renaissance Festival world. I'm here with entertainment director of the Oregon Renaissance Fair, Crystal Bly, and two of perhaps most interesting people on the circuit right now.
Not gonna lie. Absolutely. So over here we have Graham Luker, and he is playing our King James VI of Scotland and First of England, the Uniter of Great Britain. And over here we have Cole Parker, who is playing the Duke of Buckingham, the King's favorite and gentleman of the bedchamber. And we're really thrilled to be here with you today.
Thank you guys so much for sitting down with me, and let's go ahead and just get into it. We have, for Pride Month, the first historically accurate portrayal of King James in the Renaissance Festival circuit. And Crystal, this one's a really big one for you. What came first, the actor or the role?
Definitely the role. So I'm a huge history nerd, and I think we all have our dream festival that we build in our head, right? And I literally added this to my list of like, boy, that would be cool last year. So I was performing at the Oregon Renaissance Fair, and I was like, it's Pride Month. I don't see a single Pride flag. I don't see anything going on at this festival. And Rose City Pride is enormous. That's the Portland Pride. And we are only about a half hour, 45 minutes outside of Portland, right? So I'm going, what is going on? This is weird to me. And it's like, if I were ever in charge of a festival, I would, what I would do? I would, especially if we were running in June, I'd have a queer monarch. I would make that happen. And then
it's almost like you manifested this.
Almost is. So 6 months later, they called me up and they were like, "Hey, RED quit. You want to come be the entertainment director? We understand you have a very shiny resume." So I sent him my resume, and here I am. And then I started the hunt for my gay king, my queer king, and I actually found several amazing candidates along the way, but I think we settled on the right one in the end. So was recommended by several other fantastic humans on circuit, interviewed Graham, and then Graham brought Cole in, and we have a fantastic team.
Why now? Why is this so important right now? And
it's because it's long overdue. Mm-hmm. Honestly, this is something that I think should have happened 10 years ago, right? But the stars just lined up for it to happen at this moment. So here we are.
Yeah, I think why not?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is a celebration that we are the first Renaissance Fair with an openly queer monarch. That is not something that we are bent on holding as a point of interest. We joke about if next year there are 40 Renaissance fairs with queer monarchs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, I can't believe it.
I think our hope is that others follow in our steps. Someone has to take the first one. And it is us. And I think we're doing a great job. Crystal has been just fantastic about this. It's really, I can't really sing our praises enough as a thank you for doing this for our community. But like I said, why not now? Like Crystal said, why not earlier? And like Cole said, oh no, if we're not the only one after this, sick, dude.
Yeah.
Going forward, we hope that this it is something that we get to celebrate, but it no longer has to be a point of contention, because it's just, oh yes, a lot of monarchs were queer. James isn't the only one, and there's so much in Renaissance Fair history that we could celebrate about that going forward.
Absolutely.
Well, okay, I'm looking forward to that, and we'll have that posted so you can see the full interview and get a lot more information about it. Really cool thing. Just interesting to see that type of progress. So that's cool. Okay, now let's go ahead and finish up the show real quick. Just because I know you've been thinking Andrew's been being way too lazy lately, so I actually have 7 reasons. I know. I wouldn't have believed it either. But I did do that. So here we go. Let's go ahead and throw this together here. It's 7 reasons doing sound is at Faire is rewarding, and sometimes frustrating. So I I've been thinking about this a lot the last few weeks. So here you go. Let's go ahead and jump in and do number 7, because you get to help other musicians. I mean, as a musician, every performer at Faire has been there at least once. If they've been doing it for a couple of years, it's at least happened once where they were thrown to the deep end and just says, "Oh, okay, you go on in 10 minutes. Here's your sound system. Yeah, go to it. I think there's power over there." And they've got minutes to try to figure out how to do it. They don't get any help. It just, I mean, they just have to figure it out. And having a dedicated sound guy who knows what it's like and is there for them, everybody was really grateful, and I get a lot of compliments and a lot of thank yous just for being there and trying. It wasn't all perfect, but hey, I think the consensus was a lot better than it would have been. So they really liked having me there. So yeah, that was nice. I mean, it's rewarding to help with people who you can empathize with. Number 6. It is different than the norm. I mean, I mentioned that before. I mean, you tend to, it can be rough if you're just kind of playing the same show again and again and again, night after night, day after day, weekend after weekend. And I don't do that. I tend to do things very differently each time. Sometimes I'm on stage. Sometimes I'm busking in the lane. Sometimes I'm playing more guitar and singing. Sometimes I'm playing recorder more, not singing much at all. And sometimes I play a little music and I do sound. So it's really, this was different, and different can be good. I mean, it can be very relaxing. So I like that. Number 5, you get to use more skills. I mean, come on. It's nice if you have a skill, you can actually use it and even get paid for it, right? I mean, all of us should do more of that. I mean, that's always a goal. So yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Number 4, you get to justify more equipment. So yeah, I ended up getting a couple of extra cables that helped out at that stage. But also I was like, yeah, I've kind of always wanted some really long cables just in case I need them for my pack. And so I did. And I've got a couple of nice 50-foot long XLR mic cables. And they will probably come in handy. There will be a show where I will be very glad I got them. But it was easy to justify in this case. And I just did that because the first weekend it was a little rough trying to work around that, and it helped. So yeah, you get to justify some of those expenses and be like, yeah. I know y'all understand. Number 3, it earns you extra money. I mean, oh no, extra money. We talked about that before. I mean, that's just always a bonus, and you appreciate that. And number 2, well, I played at that stage too, so I got to guarantee my own sound that make sure that was good, and I got paid for doing it. So that's kind of nice, right? You get to make sure that you sound good. So that's a good feeling. Maybe I'm too much of a control freak sometimes, but I like having control over how I sound. It's nice. Number 1, you have a hand in the direction, and Fairs, they're all kind of figuring out how they want to go about this, where they want to go with that, how they want to do this. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of ways they can go with sound. They can go really loud, too loud sometimes. They can go rock concert. They can go folk venue. And because I'm doing this, I get some say. I mean, I went around the last few weekends and asked people, are we too loud? Am I too loud at the stage? Am I bothering your show, or am I bothering your sales or anything like that? And so far, it looked like I did an okay job, that I didn't cross that line. There was one day somebody said, ooh, you were okay, but you were a little louder than you were the other days. And I looked and figured out what the problem was and fixed it. And that helped. So I like having that ability to really kind of influence the direction, and that's nice. That is really nice. It's a good feeling. Okay, so good show, right? I added a little extra, more than I usually do. So hopefully this worked for you. Always appreciated. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, just I'll be on the road tomorrow, driving most of the week towards North Dakota. I'll try to get some more video and some pictures and have some fun and more stories to tell. So look forward to joining you next Monday. Hopefully my internet will be decent. We'll see. It's always a crapshoot sometimes, but you hope. I'm getting better at checking on that ahead of time and trying to ensure that it does work out well. But we'll keep it going and see how we do. Because, you know, hey, it's it's often a long road, but it can always be a fair life. So take care. I'll see you next week.